On this episode, we discuss Gabby's Dollhouse, the movie.
Welcome to Flophouse Jr., where kids rule and parents drool and homework is strictly off the menu. Because why prepare for a future when climate change and economic collapse will not allow you to have one?
Sobering. A sobering intro.
It started fun, though.
Hey, everyone, and welcome to the Flophouse. I'm Dan McCoy.
I'm Stuart Wellington.
I'm Elliot Kalin, writer of the new comic book Barbarian Behind Bars from Mad Cave Studios.
I bought the last one they had at Forbidden Planet, Elliot. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Sellout.
A sellout. How many copies did they buy to begin with at Forbidden Planet? Let's not get into those
I don't
numbers.
get to look at their books.
The important thing is
I-
it sold out.
Already pre-ordered the eventual trade, since, as you know, I'm not an issues man.
Still
You're not
counts.
a floppy-
you
floppy
do have
guy?
a lot of issues, though.
I do have so many issues. That's why I'm not trying to get any new ones, you know?
Yeah, but from what I've heard, Dan is not a floppy guy, if you know what I mean.
He is one of the hosts of the Flop House.
Oh,
That's
you're
true.
right. Maybe he is a floppy guy. Oh,
Yeah.
and I don't even know what I meant.
Well, since none of us know what any of us mean, maybe we should move on to the meat of this show. This is a podcast where we watch a movie that was either a critical or a commercial flop, and then we talk about it.
Or
See
that
what
just
we
looks
think.
like it would be silly to talk about.
Yeah. You might think, why are three grown men talking about Gabby's Dollhouse, the movie?
I felt that
And
way when I was sitting at home watching it by myself. Sitting
Really?
at home watching it by myself with the sing-along mode enabled.
Rarely have I watched something where it has been so clear from almost moment one. This is not for me.
For
it's
us.
not meant for me. Yeah.
Anything we have to say about it is it's not really a consumer advocacy, or like we're not giving any information
It's not
to people.
valid.
It's just for larfs. And that was the thing about I heard that this movie was nutty, and that was why I was kind of interested in checking it out. And it
Well, no,
did not
it turns out
disappoint
it was
on the
just
nuttiness factor.
It was just processed in a facility that handles nuts. That's
Oh,
what they
okay.
meant. Yeah. It's actually not that nutty.
And before we get into it, I think Stuart has the unenviable role of explaining this movie.
There are a few times, actually, having said that, when I watched it, I was like, this is not for me. There are a few times I've watched a Flophouse movie that I've been more glad I am not on the summary, because this movie was like as if I was behind a pane of glass and someone was just throwing brightly colored balls at it. None of the balls reached me. They just bounced off the glass. That was this movie. I was like, how can I can't even keep track of this.
Never before have I felt more like Pecos Bill trying to lasso a twister and ride it around as the movie kept shaking my attempts off.
But before we start, I just wanted to say, from what I know, which is very little because I'm a childless man, but what I've been able to glean is this is, of course,
And also America's educational system has failed you. That's why
Sure.
you know very little. Yeah,
They didn't teach me anything about Gabby's Dollhouse.
Oh.
From what I've been
And
able
you
to glean,
majored in dollhouse studies.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
This is the movie version of a long-running children's television show that is in the sort of Blue's Clues area of interactive. You know, like the person in charge tells the kid at home, like, oh, you know, now we sing this thing, or can you see where that is, or that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. For a second, I thought I was watching a fucking Deadpool, right, guys?
It was twisted in that
It was twisted,
inimitable Deadpool way.
So according to Wikipedia, the Gabby's Dollhouse show that has had 13 seasons with 86 episodes. But it's like, how do you divide 86 by 13 to get season
It's impossible.
quarters? I don't understand it. I don't get it. And don't write in to tell me how. I want to live with the mystery. So, guys,
Was there like a truncated writer's strike season like Breaking Bad?
I guarantee you this show is not a Writers Guild show. As a children's animated show on Netflix, I guarantee you that they have hung as much garlic as they need to keep the Writers Guild vampires away from the show.
Yeah.
And I am a Writers Guild vampire. Vampires are cool. I mean it as a positive thing, you know.
I mean, I'm sure this is a very, like, modern TV shows, like, season counts mean nothing anymore. They're all over the place. But you're right.
That's true.
Those two numbers do not go into one another. It's 6.615384, etc. So
Look at Calculator Dan over there doing that math.
Oh, man.
yeah.
Regular old Marty Supreme over there.
Yeah, all of a sudden his eyes start flickering like he's a mentat or something.
Yeah, I did it all in my head.
Okay, you guys want to get into this adventure?
Let's dig in.
You guys
Sure.
ready to go to Cat Francisco?
Let's go to Cat Francisco. This is one of the
Okay.
funny things about this movie is that there's a magical fantasy world of the cat dollhouse, but the real world is also pretty cat-centric.
It's incredibly
Yeah.
cat-centric.
And at the end, not to skip directly to the end, but at
The final
Let's
shot
do
of the
it.
movie.
Short episode. Finish
when
it up.
Gabby-
We see a lonely graveyard.
Gabby's making
It
a
says
new
R.I.P.
dollhouse
cats. Yeah.
for her coming little sister, and it's dog themed. I'm like, wait, are dogs allowed in this world?
Yeah, that's the thing. That's like the
It's a real
biggest
twist.
flip. That's the Avengers initiative.
Well,
of the
in their
movie.
culture, when you give someone a dog-themed gift, that's a way of saying you're going to die.
Oh
It's like
my
giving them
God.
a fish
Wow.
wrapped in newspaper or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a death note. Okay, so the movie opens. It opens on Gigi, newly grandma Gigi, who is a crafter, and she is building
Oh, yeah.
Go on.
No, sorry.
She's building a dollhouse, a cat-themed dollhouse. This beautiful dollhouse filled with tiny little figurines as a gift to her granddaughter, Gabby.
And who plays Gigi?
Elliot, why don't you answer your own question instead of
It's
asking
Gloria
me something?
Estefan, of course. I was
Oh, no
Oh my
I was
God.
briefly very excited to see Gloria Estefan in here, but then she doesn't really sing in the movie. So I was like, all right, well, that's disappointing.
I
Did
can't
not
yeah.
realize that.
Oh, wow. Okay, so, and in addition to gifting her granddaughter this dollhouse, she also gives her a pair of magical cat ears, like a magical cat ear headband, and a stuffed doll of a cat named Pandy. And these are magic, and we learn that that utilizing these two instruments, these two fetters, allows her to transform herself into a tiny little animated version of herself and into the dollhouse where all these magical cat dolls come to life.
So Gigi, some sort of witch figure?
A bruja, I believe, in their culture, Dan.
Okay.
Yeah. And the Pandy is a familiar of a sort.
Yes,
You know.
exactly. So before we get into the meat of the
It is
story,
quite a brouhaha that gets caused by Chumsley when he
Brouhaha?
shows up.
Ha
as soon as we start playing around with magic. Now, before we get into it, let's meet the Gabby cats. Why don't we? Because
Let's do
this is, we have met some all-star lineups in our day, but
Yeah.
I think this might take the cake. So of course we have
Cakey?
I think
Exactly.
we need a real introduction here. Bum, 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 bam, 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 bam. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2025, because that's when the movie came out. Gabby Cats, take it away, Stuart.
Dun, dun,
Gabby.
First we got Pandy Paws. Pandy Paws is the stuffed doll that is also, by squeezing Pandy's paw, allows them to become animated and exist within the dollhouse world.
Y'all ready
Pandy
for
is
this?
kind of like her all-purpose sidekick. Then we have Cakey. Dan, what does Cakey look like?
Cakey looks like a little cupcake, but if a cupcake had like 15% cat.
There are a couple lines that Keiki has where for a moment I thought that friend of the show Jenny Jaffe was doing the voice, but it was not to be.
Was
no.
it when Cakey accidentally burned her
Yes.
little human-like buttocks?
and said
And said-
Keiki got bakey or something like that?
Yeah, no, that's
Wait,
exactly
and
what
also,
Cakey said.
I was like, that's not really a joke. Like I don't really know what that is, but
But I
It's
ain't,
for kids.
I ain't mad at it.
that's true. Let's hear some more cats.
Okay, we got Mercat. Mercat is, of course, a half cat, half fish, mermaid type creature. Then we got my favorite, probably your favorite as well. That's right, Cat Rat.
Oh yeah.
Cat Rat is kind of like a cat and a rat, but mainly just like a dirty old cat.
He reminded
Okay.
me a lot of the cat from the Cats movie who introduces all the other cats, but he never actually says his name in the movie. What was his name? Mofungo or something like that?
Oh God. So that's not. Mr.
What am I doing taking up
Is
all
that
the different
Mundungus?
guests?
It's not
But yeah.
Bombalina.
Was humongous? Was
not
that it?
Skimbleshanks.
Anyway, it's not important. Stuart,
It's not.
we've got more cats.
Okay, so we got DJ Catnip. DJ Catnip, who's like a cat who also has these like long springy legs.
Yep.
We have Baby Box. Dan, what does Baby Box look like?
A box.
Like a baby cat, like a Happy Meal for a head. We have Carlita. Of course, Carlita is a car and a cat. Wow.
You may remember her from the Al Pacino movie Carlito's Way. Very different movie.
Yeah.
Interesting role for a car cat.
And she's also the cousin of the cat bus from Totoro.
Yeah.
Monk strap.
Monk
Strap, thank you. Which is what a
right.
monk uses to hold his testicles when he's doing athletics. Continue, Stuart, with the cats.
Yeah. Normally, you would think he would just toss him over his shoulder, but nope, he has to use a
like
strap.
a continental soldier. Yep.
Then we got Pillow Cat. Dan, do you remember Pillow Cat?
I swear, I have to admit that the cat's kind of merged into a cat chorus.
Me neither. I'm not a big Pillow Cat fan, but that's right. You can't, there's always
can't all be winners.
There's a top and a bottom.
I think
okay?
compared to the talking pillow and Oogie Loves, Pillow Cat was a dud.
And then we have, of course, Kitty Fairy, which is a kitty that's also a fairy. And while that is all of our Gabby cats, I do, though not technically a Gabby cat, I do have to give an extra shout out for a character who will show up later in the movie, and that's Cookie Bobby, who is some kind of cookie creation that's also kind of a cat, voiced, of course, by Maddie Matheson.
Yeah,
who,
and did you mention Kitty Fridge, the living refrigerator, who's also a cat?
I forgot to mention Fortune Feimster voiced Kitty Fridge. Okay, so that's our
Real
Gabby
reversal
cats.
of fortune.
I think we all have our favorites.
There's a reversal of Feimster. Yeah.
So we flash forward. Gabby is now a tween. Is that correct? I'm like estimating
no, I mean,
age
she, I mean,
here.
in real life,
she's like 18.
She's like 17 or 18. Yeah, I mean, well, come, Dan, let's not get gross. But she's.
I wasn't.
I don't
well,
know.
no,
Do you start licking your chops like somebody put a big stick?
No, let's not go into that
This is
world.
clearly like, someone who's off to college age.
Yes, I think so.
Not
No, I think she is.
the age
She is
that they're trying to show.
She is an elder teen at this point.
Yeah.
Okay. So elder teen Gabby goes on a road trip with Grandma Gigi to go stay at Gigi's house in Cat Francisco. They bring the dollhouse along because
So did Gigi drive from Cat Francisco to Gabby's house across the country and then back again?
Yeah.
Like she drove across the country to get her and then drove across the country to get back home?
She's a retiree. She's got plenty of time.
Like, oh, that's true, I guess. I mean, she's just looking to fill the time. I mean, Gabby could easily
And she
get on
wants
a
to see all
plane.
the cat-related sites along the way.
So wait,
That's
where
right.
was Gabby was living alone in the old Gigi house? Like where was she living?
No, Gabby was just in her house. She was just in her house.
But now she's moving to Cat Francisco with
She's just
her
visiting Cat
grandmother.
Francisco.
Just visiting
Oh,
Cat
just
Francisco.
visiting. But
Yeah.
she's taking her dollhouse with her. I guess because
Yeah.
The grandma, yeah. She's taking the dollhouse with her because she loves her dollhouse so much. Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
It's kind of her thing, right?
Yeah. I mean, I guess if you have living cat dolls, you can't just leave those at home,
Yeah, otherwise you'll
No.
have a Chumsley situation, which we'll talk about
Exactly.
later.
You don't want one of that. Yeah.
Okay, so when they arrive to Cat Francisco, obviously we get like a road trip montage where we see various sites that are reminiscent of sites in our universe, but in the cat universe, they're a little bit catified.
Yeah.
including one where they're like one of the characters is just hugging Shrek, I guess because it's the same
It's
company.
DreamWorks. It's a DreamWorks.
DreamWorks.
film.
It's the
Yeah.
same
DreamWorks
as in
movie.
our universe.
Yeah.
You put a Shrek out there, somebody's hugging his ass.
Look, either Dr. Phil is a green M&M is marrying him, or someone's hugging him. This is what you do with a Shrek.
Okay, so
I just want to say, I was reading my New Yorker reading is like a year and a half behind, but I just read an article in one where it was about this college student who has dedicated years to trying to get justice for the donkey who inspired the donkey in Shrek. There's a real life donkey, and she's like, this donkey has health problems. It deserves to get more money and attention from the studio.
Okay.
And I was like, of all the things going on in the world, what a strange cause to take on as your own.
Two things. Like until you explain it, I'm like, what does justice for a donkey mean? And number two is like because of like the Zoom call, it sounded at first like instead of New Yorker, you said you were reading the Bjorker. Which
Yeah,
is,
read the Bjorker, which is Bjork's magazine, where she talks
Yeah, I
about
love
things that
that.
interest her at the moment. Yeah.
It's just like, it's like hair care tips where it's like, you have to get, you leave food out for the fairies.
Oh, damn.
Yeah,
Dan's
yeah.
showing off his fucking Snatch Game
And
York
there's stuff
impression.
there's stuff about food
At
for
night,
fairies.
they will do
There's
your hair.
reminiscences of awkward moments with Matthew Barney. Like there's lots of Bjorker is a great magazine. Anyway,
Bjorker,
keep going on with the summary. Let's keep moving.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Thanks, Elliot.
after arriving in San Francisco, which similar to San Francisco in our universe, it is very hilly, which is important because while Gabby is distracted by her grandmother, Cat Rat gets antsy, and he decides to undo the straps holding the dollhouse to the van, letting it start sliding down these hills. Because of course the dollhouse has these wheels.
Before
And
we
I will
get too
say
far
this
into
is-
this,
Oh,
Or
sorry, Dan, you-
casters, maybe.
well, before we get far into this chase sequence, did they ever? I wasn't paying that much attention to this. Did they ever make a cat tower reference for San Francisco? A cat tower?
No, I don't think they
Anyway,
do.
that's it.
Instead of Coit Tower?
Yeah, it was
I don't
really
think
worth
so.
stopping to talk about it. But
Well,
No,
it's
it's
even-
good.
even
Listeners,
less
write
worth
in
it.
if you thought that was worth it.
Yeah, right into Dan, shut up, courtesy of the Flophouse. 123 Fake Street, Anytown, USA.
I'm gonna get so many letters.
Yeah.
It's gonna make me feel bad.
The
You're
thing
going
I
to
was
have to
going to say
move
is
off the fake street.
they're going to run you out of town,
Yeah.
run you out of any town.
Yeah,
So
run you out on a cat rail.
when this is a real fear that I understand about those hills of San Francisco. I remember once when my older son was very little, pushing him in a stroller around a hill in San Francisco, and I realized, I was like, if I accidentally let go of him at this moment, he is gone. I will never see it. Like, the stroller will roll down this hill and I will never catch up with it. And it was one of the scariest moments in my life. So I really felt this moment. I was like, oh, this is a frightening fear. This is a real life fear. Yeah.
I mean,
You should have fucking tied that shit to your wrists.
Well,
even
I didn't need to. It
Don't you
didn't
have like
happen. You know.
fuzzy, sexy handcuffs lying around? Why don't you just use those?
Yeah, you know what? My fuzzy handcuffs, I did pack them because when in San Francisco, I always bring my fuzzy handcuffs. But I think the problem was we hadn't had a chance to use them on the trip, so I forgot I had them with me.
Yeah.
And so I didn't attach the stroller to my
sure,
wrist using my fuzzy sex handcuffs. Yeah.
even as someone who has no real life fear to attach this to, like I have to, like this is going to show like how incredibly soft-hearted I've become and how I need to harden up as a human being. Well, watching Gabby's Dollhouse, a film where I can reasonably assume that nothing bad is really going to happen, I was like, this is way too stressful for me for this movie to start off with like this girl's like most prized possession filled with living cat dolls to like zoom down these hills and be separated from her immediately.
So yeah, Gabby gives chase, but obviously she's outpaced by the much faster dollhouse. So it zooms around corners. It almost gets in accidents,
It
et cetera,
handles
before,
very well considering it is, again, a 6-foot-tall dollhouse on
and
wheels.
being steered by basically the doll figurines inside, running from one side to the other to add weight.
Yeah, that
Yes.
weight can't be enough to do
Eventually, it comes to rest.
Yeah, Dan, let's talk about the physics of Gabby's Dollhouse, the movie. When
just didn't buy
Gabby
it.
tweaks her ears and becomes a tiny Gabby, where
She
does the
pinches
extra
them.
mask
Yeah,
go?
that's-
Where does that mask go? And when she turns back to human, where does the new mask come from?
Well, it's
Masks
like
can neither
Ken
be destroyed
particles.
nor recreated. Oh, it's
No,
pin
well, when
It's all
particles.
she's
the
smaller,
space.
when she's smaller, she is heavy as fuck.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
when it worries that, then I worry that if she shrinks too much, she'll become an intense supergravity black hole and destroy all of Cat
Well,
Francisco.
luckily, Gigi has not given her that ability.
Oh, thank goodness.
Okay, so the dollhouse comes to rest outside of a vintage store
Ooh.
where it is espied by a passing kitty litter magnate, Vera, played, of course, by Kristen Wiig, who is driving around in her convertible. Wiig?
I just say wig, but
I say wait, but I mean, you're pronouncing it the same way you would if she was a Nintendo Wii, so maybe you're right.
Wiig. And she's driving by in her convertible with, I think she's with her cat Marlena, who is not hairless, but like looks like a hairless cat.
Very-
Yeah,
Does that
she's
make
like a
sense?
like a
Very
Sphinx
short
cat
hair.
type cat, right?
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah, and is like eternally angry, possibly because of the amounts of wigs, outfits, and turbans Marlena has to wear.
Now now this is a good segue for something I wanted to talk about, which is the way that the trivia section of the Gabby's Dollhouse entry on IMDb, there are a number of, some would say interesting, and I would say just interesting that they exist, piece of trivia.
I mean,
And
there's
this one-
literally a place in there to say if you find it interesting or not.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
But I'm
many of
glad
them
that
it's-
you're bringing it out of the comments section into the podcast.
Well, so this says Julie Kavner was originally considered to be the role of Vera, but declined, instead giving the part to Kristen Wiig. And I have to assume they changed the part quite a bit because I can't imagine Julie Kavner doing some of the things Kristen Wiig does in this, like yoga and things like that. But
Were
then
we about to have back-to-back Julie Kavner movies?
we almost had. Well, this was almost became Kavner
Kavner theme month.
Kavner Berry, the Kavner month. But it said the next one: Ilana Glazer and Jeff Garlin were originally offered to portray Gabby's mother and father in the film, but declined. Instead, Gabby's parents have been written out of the film. And there are a number of pieces of trivia on this that are: this person was almost in the movie, which means they were offered a part and said no, which does not mean they were almost in the movie.
Yeah.
But then you get a lot of trivia, like about a dozen pieces of trivia that are like this. Let's see. This is the second Netflix film adaptation from DreamWorks in Spirit Untamed. It is, however, the first one to be connected to the original series rather than be a remake of that series. Or this one. DreamWorks Animation's first G-rated film to not release on VHS, not be distributed by DreamWorks Pictures, and not have a PG-rated follow-up film. There are so many... Apparently,
asterisks.
So many trivia pieces here about like firsts that this movie have that don't make it, that are like the most baseball stat of haircutting.
I hate to break it to you. I think that's a sign that AI is coming for the job of weirdos who posted the trivia
You know what?
section
I
of
didn't
IMDb.
even think about that. It makes so much more sense if these were AI listed. And this is my favorite one. This is the one I wanted to bring out the most. It is rather interesting, and the fact that it says at the beginning makes me feel like AI wrote this. It is rather interesting.
I'll be the judge.
It is rather interesting that this film would be released in 2025 after The Bad Guys 2, which will make it DreamWorks' 50th animated feature film, as 50 is divisible by 25. That's the piece of trivia. Is that interesting?
Wait, what?
It's that it is DreamWorks' 50th animated
that
film.
is interesting.
It's released in 2025, and 50 is divisible by 25. How many people do you think found that helpful on IMDb? How many people
You
found
gotta
it
go
helpful?
with a goose egg on that.
Oh, you're wrong. 9 people found it helpful.
Okay.
Of
Wow.
course, 49
9
thumbs down, 49 unhelpful.
9 real breathing human beings, I'm sure, found it super
Now,
interesting.
and what this tells me, you're right. I think most of this stuff must be AI generated, is my guess, which makes me feel both good that a human didn't waste their time on it, and bad that even our dumb IMDb trivia no longer has the. I liked imagining some human person being like, "Oh, all these exciting discoveries about Gabby's Dollhouse. I've got to share them with the world," you know. But what do you think of the numerology of that? That it's their 50th animated film. Came out in 2025. 50 is divisible by 25, and the number you get is 2. Bad Guys 2 was the one right before it.
Wow.
Oh, shit.
This goes all the way to the top.
Oh, man.
Next thing you know, we're going to see that Gabby's Dollhouse is in the Epstein
And
files.
wait,
That's how in the weeds we are in the
And I
conspiracy
was
on this
born
one.
in February, which is the second month, and my birthday's the 26th, which is one more than 25. Holy
Wow.
shit.
And 26 is also divisible by 2.
Mm-hmm.
The number you get, 13.
13.
Oh, that's a scary number.
Yesterday was
Yes.
Friday the 13th.
Oh, wow.
That's a scary number. That's Jason's birthday.
Is it?
Okay. Okay, folks. Well,
So Gabby's Dollhouse?
Vera sees and guys, Kristen Wiig in this movie, I mean, I'm sure we'll mention it. I think she gives, I don't know if I would go so far as to say Jim Carrey in the Sonic franchise level of commitment, but she seems committed. Her outfits are great. It's fun.
She comes out of this movie looking good. Like, and I think she doesn't. I feel like this is another. We've seen this a number of times now, where people who are better than the material that they're in, this or Jermaine Clement in Harold and the Purple Crayon, or Jim Carrey in the Sonic movies, they do a good job, and you come out being like, I wish that person didn't have to do that movie because but they did a good job. I like seeing them in it.
also
more good movies were being made.
And this character is this character is so early set up to be like the Cruella de Vil, like villain type character.
Mhm.
And that's not really what she's doing at all. And it just becomes an excuse for Kristen Wiig to do silly things in the movie. And I'm like, oh, okay, great. This is a good way to handle this.
Bleach blonde hair that's pink at the top. And
Dan, you were texting us about how attractive you found her.
I apologize to the world, but she's really foxy in this movie.
Yeah. I mean, the idea that you're drawn to an incredibly wealthy cat lady,
Yeah.
who is also stylish
Who does yoga
and does
in
yoga
the
with
middle
her
of the
cat.
day.
Yeah, I mean,
I think the math works out. I don't see a problem with it. But
and
I think,
also doesn't seem to like having children around. This is all perfect for Dan.
But I think this points to either a good or a bad thing, which is whereas people used to be like Anthony Newley in the Garbage Pail Kids movie, where it would be like, you could tell he does not care, and he is not bothering even to stick to the script or do whatever. Like, you could, I think, feel like when you see people in bad kids movies now, or in kids movies that should be disposable, they're really like doing it. Like they're doing a good, they're committing to it. And I think that's both a good thing, because it means we get good performances out of them that lift these movies, but also a bad thing because it's like you're saying, Dan, I wish they had better movies to make those committed performances in.
I think there's also, for the actor, I think there's also something to be said about the idea of being in children's movies can add to your longevity, because
that's true.
People like those kids will grow up someday and remember you.
And I watch a movie, like, if they're putting in a good performance in it, I'm not, like you say, there's no stink on the person. I watch this movie and I admire her for being such a pro, just really putting it all into the silliness.
I feel like people only can come off well when they're committing properly to the role. And later on, when
you were saying, Jared Leto comes off pretty well, right?
I think that's committing improperly to the role. Improperly.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
I think my guess
I'll put
is
that in the don't do's section.
My guess is that Kristen,
which is next to doo-doo, which is very confusing.
And everybody does it, Dan. Everybody does doo-doo.
Yeah.
My guess is that Kristen Wiig was not like, I've got to get into the character of Vera. Let me mail a dead cat to Gabby. I think probably at the end of the day when they said, quit in time, and they blew that whistle, she took off that wig and said, I'll leave Vera here on the set, and I'll be Kristen Wiig for the evening.
Yeah. Okay, so Vera sees this dollhouse, and this looks perfect because, as we'll learn, she has a very cat-themed apartment, which I'm guessing, I feel like, or mansion almost. Yeah, my mistake. Very beautiful home.
She has one of those huge apartments where there's no other apartments in the building.
What are those called?
Those called, I don't know what they are. Where it's just one person and they don't share the building with other people. What's that apartment called?
Well, yeah, I guess I'm revealing my New Yorker status.
We got New York brains.
Mm-hmm.
Stuart's like, well, then they get onto one of those small above-ground subways. Oh, you mean a car, Stuart? Yeah.
Oh, wow. Check out Mr. Rockefeller over here, man. Owning a car.
An early sign of, we should not be taking Elon Musk seriously, when he was like, we're going to build this thing where you put your cars in, a train underground. And it's like, yeah, dude, it's a subway, man.
We have that. It works better when you don't drive a car onto it.
About?
Yeah.
So Vera sees this dollhouse, and she has to have it because it would fit well with her art collection.
Vera said that? That was for Dan. I knew he'd get that reference.
So she runs over. She puts a stack of cash. They don't do a close up on the bills, but I'm assuming the president's heads are cat heads. And she buys this. She buys this dollhouse from a befuddled vintage store owner who did not realize they had a dollhouse there. In the process, she irks some local kitty rangers who are kind of like Girl Scouts.
Yeah, they're not like Power Rangers.
And this girl is totally sort of extraneous to the film. I'm not really understanding what her role is.
I mean, you're right, Dan, because otherwise it's a real clockwork plot.
Well,
it's a real House of Games on this one, where everything pays off in the end.
She shows up again later to do basically nothing. She shows up at the end to dance with Kristen Wiig. I'm like, why was this part of the movie? I don't know.
I mean, well, as we'll talk about, I feel like the Kitty Rangers play a pretty pivotal role in the rescue of the Gabby cats, but maybe that's just me. Dan, maybe I'm more of a Gabby cat defender.
Apologist. Yeah. I mean, I'll just say,
yeah, they know what they did. War crimes.
I'm glad that we didn't do more with that character, because one of the things that I couldn't, this movie, when you watched it as I did on Prime, it was like an hour and 45 minutes long. And I was like, what? How is this movie so long? But the last 18 minutes are all credits. And I was so glad that time was credits rather than more of the Girl Scout subplot.
Okay, so the Kitty Rangers kind of vow to get back at Vera for this. So Vera takes the dollhouse back to her mansion, and she takes out some of the Gabby Cat figurines, and she places a few of them around her property and puts the rest of them in her purse because she loves her collectibles, she calls them. Not toys, but collectibles.
No, collectibles.
During this process, Cat Rat is abandoned in the dollhouse, and he, wandering around, bumps into Chumsley, who is Vera's old cat doll, voiced, of course, by Jason Mantzoukas.
I think he does a great job, too.
He does.
He comes off great also.
Chumsley is kind of embittered a little bit, quite a bit, we will learn, because he was Vera's childhood toy who was then abandoned as she got older.
It's just like the villain from Toy Story 3.
Exactly.
You know? Yeah.
And
There's
he-
only so
He's
many
like
stories
the
you can
villain
tell
from
with
Toy
toys.
Story 2.
Yeah.
And also the villain from Toy Story 2. Yeah, that's true.
And he, along with him,
And I think
there's
the villain from Toy Story 4, possibly.
I haven't seen part 4. What happens? Do they
I
all die
only
in that
saw
one?
pieces of it.
Can't really remember. There's less
don't
of
remember
Forky's
real
in that
exactly.
one, right?
Yeah.
Forky's
Who was in that one?
Forky.
Yeah. You know
But-
what?
but-
Maybe
You
I'm
would
wrong. I don't remember.
remember Forky. Like
Yeah,
I
you
remember
remember
Forky.
Yeah,
and
Forky. You know what? I remember Forky. That's right. Yeah. He's the he was an interesting addition to the toys, as to have a kids movie where one of the characters is constantly trying to kill himself because he believes himself to be trash. It's an interesting choice.
Yeah, it's like that dog from Spin City. Do you guys remember that
Oh
dog?
yeah, that's right. I do remember that. And was
I
it
don't.
just Michael Boatman that can hear him talking, right? Like
Yeah.
none of the
Yep.
none of the other characters can hear him talking, but he's always trying to kill himself.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
That was that was an interesting thing for them to throw into a sitcom about how the mayor's office works.
What a cast, right?
Yeah,
Connie
Could have been a
Britton.
better cast. Could have been a better cast. Season 1, they had Carla Gugino, and then she was
Yeah.
off the show for the rest of it. You know,
R.I.P. to the
her
show.
character.
yeah.
Okay, so Chumsley, as we said, Chumsley also is followed along by a collection of these like jelly-looking cat dolls that are also part of her collectible collection. Okay. Meanwhile, Gabby, distraught, realizes, you know what? Why am I running around? This whole stack is in all cards.
I was
Dan,
like
look at
looking at it, I'm like, what the hell? How is it possible?
because we're gonna sing all the songs, so I wrote down all
Okay.
the.
Yeah. Stuart's got a James Lipton style stack of cards there to
So
tell us about Gabby's Dollhouse.
Gabby's distraught, but then she realizes, why the fuck am I heel toeing it around Cat Francisco? Why don't I just use the magic and teleport into the house? So
Yeah.
looking directly at the screen, she sings her song. You guys want to do it with me?
Nope.
So she says, a pinch on the left, pinch on the right. What? Grab
hold on
Pandy's.
to Pandy. Hold Pandy's hand or grab Pandy's hand. Yeah.
And then they teleport in there. And now
Yeah.
she's animated. She appears in the dollhouse, which is kind of in disarray at this point because Cat Rat and Chumsley are having a ball. They're
Guys,
making a mess and playing.
I don't want
Did we
to,
mention the toppers? Chumsley's little henchmen friends, the toppers. They're
That's
all pencil
kind of-
toppers. Yeah.
Oh, that's what they are. I described them as like jelly figures. But yeah,
That's right. I was thinking about Carla Gugino, so I missed that part.
I don't want to again, question the logic of Gabby's Dollhouse. But
Do
why
it,
at
Dan.
this
That's why
point-
we're here. Because this is Mythbusters, Gabby's Dollhouse.
Why at this
Gabby's
point?
Dollhouse, fact or fiction? Yeah.
Yeah. If I shoot a bullet through Gabby's dollhouse,
Once she has, used her power to teleport her to the dollhouse, why does she not? Why does she not merely become large and explain her predicament to Kristen Wiig?
My
rather
assumption
than-
is that because she has found herself in a rich person's home, she is worried she'll be shot as a trespasser.
Makes sense.
And that Kristen Wiig really, her Vera is really more of a shoot first, ask questions
Okay.
later type of character. Yeah,
This
yeah.
is a much more sad
You know-
commentary on our current state of
Oh,
affairs.
it's all
than I
in there,
thought.
Dan. It's all in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
and she would have a pretty stylish little gun. Right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and it would
little
look like a
cat
cat was
gun.
spitting the bullets out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Oh, you think it's cool, huh? Well, I guess I'm just a little more a better person than you because I think it's bad.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that in my world, I would call something bad if it's cool. So that's fine.
Okay.
Haha.
So you're both
This,
right.
like the
It's a little
80s,
twisted,
like
yeah.
the mid to late 80s.
yeah, that's my world.
So does cool mean bad then? If bad means cool?
Yeah, exactly.
So you were really calling it bad, and Dan was really calling it cool.
Oh man, I thought I was a good person.
Yeah, that's
It turns
right.
out Dan's the bad guy, and Stuart
Oh,
is the
but
good
that
guy.
means I'm good.
Oh boy, merely that you're cool, not necessarily good.
True.
Okay, so
Nice is different than good.
Yeah.
Gabby leaves Cat Rat and Chumsley to guard the dollhouse, and then she and Pandy head out to go rescue the missing Gabby cats.
Mm-hmm.
They run around this home for a little bit before finding Mercat in the aquarium. So we have a little undersea adventure. There's a song. They eventually rescue Mercat, and they escape in a
We'll find
bubble.
And we'll find that wherever the little cats go, their magic spreads kind of like life and goodness to the things around them. And I guess it's what the power of play or something like that, you know?
And they kind of like animate the various things that are around.
Yeah. When they rescue Mercat, do they rescue her Merkin?
Stuart, please move on.
So after rescuing
you can refer
Mercat,
back to that address to tell me to shut up, I guess.
Yes,
so they float away. They're floating through the home.
Back to Dan. Enough of your disgusting puns.
So they're floating away in a bubble, and Vera unknowingly opens the door, and they go flying out into the garden where they land, and they encounter a tribe of kitty gnomes that are like wooden little garden gnome cat characters who are also kind of like savage coded.
And they're animated at like a different frame rate than the rest of them to make it look a little more like they're like stop motion or something.
Yeah, and they're all voiced by comedians, by comedy people.
And unlike the rest, who are all Broadway's biggest stars,
and of course F. Murray Abraham, who shows up as grandfather cat.
F. Murray Abracat.
So the kitty gnomes take Gabby and crew to their leader, which of course is Kitty Fairy, who the kitty gnomes are kind of worshiping as both a queen and some kind of a god.
Yeah.
They convince Kitty Fairy to sneak out with them, so they try to trick the gnomes who do not want to give up their new god. They trick them into playing a game of hide and seek, which leads to a flying chase in this kind of ornithopter type contraption that they've created, and the
gnomes are just flying dragonflies, right?
They're just flying dragonflies. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. To be honest, this sequence is my favorite in the movie. I think it felt like they established a real sketch premise. They pull it off. There's a couple funny jokes in there. It leads to an exciting, chase. Like I was like, okay, you know what, movie? Yeah, you got me for this part. Yeah.
It even in the climax, of course, is where their makeshift flying machine is falling out of the sky, and part of it involves some gardening gloves. And Vera, looking out her window, sees this contraption falling out of the sky and waves back at it.
Yeah, I like this running gag of Kristen Wiig slowly going mad. Because she thinks she sees, she does see small people running around with small cats. Ellie, just to jump back, you said this is maybe your favorite part. Would you say that your least favorite part was the license plate that said Kitty Wagon on the...
I didn't love that. I didn't. Yeah. I think that would be my least favorite part if it wasn't for the...
It's a Kill Bill reference, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. If it wasn't for the introduction of Cookie Bobby, I think that would be my least favorite part.
Cookie
Bobby, when he shows up, he comes out of nowhere. He goes away quickly. He is off-putting and unpleasant. And I was like, why is this here? Why is this happening right now?
Well, he's Cookie Bobby. Okay, so they eventually, I
feel like every kid's movie, there's one thing in it where if a kid sees it at the wrong moment, it becomes a nightmare that they carry with them for the rest of their life. And when Cookie Bobby came up, I was like, that's it. This is the one for this movie. Yeah. I'm Cookie Bobby. Like, okay, don't need that.
They eventually come to an agreement with the kitty gnomes. The kitty gnomes realize how much they enjoyed playing with our heroes, but they are like, well, you don't need us to play. You can play with yourselves. And Dave's like, damn right I can.
Well, it's an important message.
And so, hooray. So we've got another saved kitty. Now, the rest of them we find out are in Vera's purse. That's going to be tough. Luckily, just then the kitty rangers show up and they play hardball trying to sell, cake pops or something?
Whatever it is they sell, that's their equivalent of cookies. They say you have to buy a lot of it if you don't give us that dollhouse. And Vera just gives them a bunch of money and that's it.
The weird part, is that initially she tries to close the door on them. And so one of the little girl blocks it with her shoe. After they come to an agreement, she just closes the door. And I'm like, you should have just locked that thing. But she leaves it, and then the kitty rangers just go into her home like it's, like it's some kind of home invasion thriller.
Yeah, it's real Goldilocks type energy right here, yeah.
Yeah, and or funny games.
Yeah, I mean, Goldilocks was essentially the original Funny Games.
I
goes into
I don't know. The Funny Games you're thinking of was a remake of another movie called Funny Games. I think that came
that's
first.
the original.
But
That inspired Goldilocks.
Oh, yeah, right. You're right. And that inspired Goldilocks. That's right. Yeah. Goldilocks saw Funny Games and goes, I can just go into any house I want and terrorize a bunch of bears. Yeah,
Goldilocks also German, right? It was Goldenlocken, right?
Something like Geldenlocken. Yeah,
Geldenlocken,
exactly.
yeah.
Und die drei Bauern. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, oh man, I got like 100 more cards to go through.
Please don't.
So the Kitty Rangers are running around Veer's home. They are pushing her sculptures around, and it's all this fun cat-related stuff. And they're like, you don't play with all this cool stuff? She's like, no, it's collectibles. Meanwhile, Gabby's using this distraction to save, Baby Box, all the other ones.
You are
DJ
looking to the
Catnip,
wrong
your
people.
favorite cats.
Yeah, all the cats that
Baby
you love.
Box, DJ Catnip, at least one other, maybe Pillow Cat.
Pillow Cat, maybe.
yeah.
Carlita
Keiki,
doesn't
I think
need- doesn't need
Keiki's
saving.
in there.
Yeah, Keiki, sure.
Okay.
Keiki did get bakey earlier. So.
Yeah. Okay.
Mungo Jerry.
So they,
Monk-
she
exactly.
rescues the rest of them.
Skimble
Hooray!
Shanks.
We have all of our team. Why is there so much movie left? Well, we're gonna find out. So they go to the Dollhouse. That's where they're like, okay, well, we're gonna leave. And Chumsley's like, fuck that. I'm not gonna go back to my life of not getting played with. This sucks. So he and his cronies kick them out, and they board up the windows.
And so I want to tie this in. Like, we've seen this in a fair number of Flophouse movies before, including If or IF or, like whatever.
Yeah, if.
Well,
Lindsay
I mean,
Anderson movie with Malcolm McDowell. Yeah.
The word isn't if. It's just like it's IF, imaginary friend or whatever. But my
But don't
point
they
is,
say if in it?
I guess that's true. It's
Well,
good
that
that we
was a
got
useful
bogged down in this.
A useful way to spend time. So, Dan, what are you saying?
We've seen this message in a lot of these movies where it just seems to be like a.
Did I mention
Can
my
you-
wife earlier was like, we've got things to do today, so you can make this a quicker recording? And I'm like, you got it.
There's a lot of ones where the message seems to be like, can you believe that people grow up and stop playing with things or stop having imaginary friends?
Oh, brother.
And it's just like, yeah, I don't understand this
Well, this
message.
is, Dan, I'm glad you brought it up because this is what this movie, I felt like I was going to be like, oh, this movie's going to be so dumb and crass or whatever. But really the issue I have with the movie is exactly that the message is like, don't grow up, keep playing with your toys. Like with If. And I'm like, if there is a problem in America today, it is that adults have stopped growing up in the way that, not in the way of like, these young people aren't buying houses, but in the way that we have a lot of old pieces of shit in the government who act like children and do stuff like, and pretend the world is a video game, or like they're teens online who are memeing through killing people and stuff like that. And I was looking at our current Secretary of Defense, who's I'll just go on a limb here, a piece of shit.
Yeah,
and
I think that's fair.
the fact that he's like, our warfighters need intense lethality. Look at the way we're blowing up all that stuff. Isn't it cool? And it's like, grow up, man. You're 1 year older than me, and you're acting like you're 14 years old, and you're in charge of the military. Like, so the message of kids shouldn't grow up and become adults. It's like, no, I disagree. We need more adults. We need more adults in the world. If we lived in a world where people stop playing with their toys, and that means we get movies other than like He-Man and Thundercats and stuff like that in the theaters, yes, what a wonderful world to live in.
Yeah,
So Gabby's Dollhouse, j'accuse.
And clearly, like, we're weird people to make this point since we're still watching this stuff and being silly about it and
But
whatnot.
we're watching it for money, to make fun of it, like an adult would.
But like there's borders. There's like lines.
I feel like I feel like we used to see movies where like Mary Poppins, where the message is, and Mary Poppins is an old movie, but like the message is, don't lose that sense of wonder or excitement in your life.
Which
but now
I agree with.
Now we're over the hill, through the looking glass or whatever you want to call it, where it's like, don't grow up ever.
Never
Always be a
abandon your
child.
Dollhouse imaginary cat friends.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like as
It would be
opposed
like
to
it's the end of fucking Labyrinth, where instead of leaving her weird little recreated bedroom with the weird pack rat Muppet things, she's like, no, I'll just stay here with all my stuff, all
Or
my
like the
shit,
end
and
of-
never leave.
or the end of Toy Story 3, where if Andy, instead of giving his toys to a kid, is like, nah, I'm going to hold on to these. These are cool. I want to play with them forever, and snatch them out of the hands of a child to take with him to college. When it would be weird. Can you imagine Andy in college having sex with his girlfriend in his dorm room, and his toys are just lined up on his desk watching them do it? That would be terrible. That's not a good. We don't want that to happen. We want Andy to give those toys to a kid to play with, not to take them with him to college. Whereas I feel like the message of this movie would be like, take your toys with you to college. Now, let's talk about the Brave Little Toaster, where I don't know why he doesn't take those things, because it's a toaster, an electric blanket. Those are useful items. They're not actually toys. A desk lamp, why doesn't he take those? I don't understand.
And again, if you're watching any of the videos, many toys lined up behind me.
Dan points to tiki mugs and calls them toys.
Well,
I will say,
I have over here. There's some
But Dan,
little.
do you play with those toys, or are they collectibles?
No, they're just things that I enjoy looking at because they bring back.
He calls them objects to art.
He does. Actually, sometimes he calls them objects to fart, and then he laughs a little bit.
Yeah.
Anyway, so continue, Stuart. What else happened? So that's my rant for this episode is children grow up someday, become adults, put away childish things. You can still enjoy
Not
the
the
feelings.
Flophouse.
The Flophouse. No, hold on to that. Hold on to that with a death grip that you never let go of. But
especially since we're aging with it and becoming clearly grumpier as time goes on.
I think the idea of like you should still hold on to the kind of joy that those things once brought to you and apply that. Find ways to achieve that joy so you don't lose wonder, curiosity, beauty, fun from your life, but it doesn't have to be the exact same way you did it as a kid.
Doesn't have to be the exact same thing. I as I grow older, I realize that part of my sickness, part of why I struggle with it sometimes to find as much joy in my life as I used to is like I'm clinging to things that used to bring me joy, seeking the same joy and not realizing like, oh, maybe I just need to transfer over to other things that are more effective for me now.
Yeah. So you got to grow. You grow, and that's the excitement of life is discovery. You know,
like 10 milligrams of weed gummies instead of 5. Okay, so
I apologize to everybody all the kids who came here to hear us talk about Gabby's Dollhouse, and then I turned into an old man. You know.
So Gabby and the Gabby Cats all get kicked out of the Dollhouse. Chumsley boards up the windows. So Gabby's like, okay, I don't know if I can do this alone. She sends Pandy and Carlita back to Gigi to try and get Gigi to help.
And Carlita is a little too sexy, right? Not in the way she looks. That's Carlita's way. But the way she is just like, she exudes kind of like brat energy, I guess maybe you'd call it. Like it's just super in your face and like winking at you. And I'm like, this is intense for a cat
I haven't seen the Cars franchise, but I'm assuming all the Cars ladies look like that, right?
I mean, they don't look like cats.
I don't remember like really sexy Cars ladies.
And they have like tramp stamps or something?
No, they just kind of have like big lips. You know, that's just lady lips. That's pretty much it. Yeah.
Okay. And do they give birth by like a little car coming out of their trunk?
That's all still a mystery.
Okay.
Yeah, scientists are still working on it.
Should I Google it? I wonder if I'll find anything crazy.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, the thing is, the Cars movies.
I'm going to say yes, do it.
Do it. Yeah, this isn't in movie, but they lay eggs. That's how they reproduce.
Oh, that actually makes sense.
They're actually reptiles. They're cold-blooded creatures. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, Gabby and the rest of the cats find a way to sneak into the house. Chumsley sees her magical cat ears, and he realizes, and I guess he overhears, or he realizes that they're the font of her power. So he snatches them off her head. Now he's in control, and the dollhouse starts to change as it's tied to his kind of negative vibes. Again, they're kicked out of the house. Gigi arrives. Gigi comforts Gabby. I think Baby Box gives her a new pair of cat ears after she admits that she's nervous about not wanting to play with her cat toys anymore. She gets older.
She's like, Gigi, you still play with toys. How do you do it? And Gigi's like, I just do. Like, I don't, it doesn't take a lot. Yeah.
And so they decide to get Vera involved at this point. So Gabby makes herself normal and human again, terrifying Vera. She convinces Vera to make herself small using a pair of cat ears. And that further breaks her concept of reality as they are all teleported into the dollhouse, where Chumsley is baking a magical cake, but he goes a little bit too ham on it. and it causes a magical portal to open, sucking in Chumsley, Keiki, and eventually Vera and Gabby.
Yeah, I mean, I will say it breaks her concept of reality a little bit, but it still takes Vera a surprising amount of time to come around to the fact that, like, she needs to play with Chumsley, considering that, like, now she knows that, I guess, Chumsley is sentient and needs to be played with, or else he will cease to exist and magic will collapse. But
that's a lot of weight to put on one brain all at once,
true.
right?
Yes, true.
So, speaking of that, they begin, Keiki, Vera, and Gabby traverse a desert landscape. They ride horses.
What an
in the form of-
unplanned joke.
Oh, that's what you think. That's what you think. I did make a note about it. So they ride around on horses fashioned out of frosted cookies. They get trapped. They ride along a dessert-themed river. They are about to get sucked into a whirlpool when Elliot's favorite dude, Cookie Bobby, chucks them out of the raging watery vortex.
Only to get
saving.
sucked in himself.
Mm-hmm.
But he
And you're
seems
like,
fine with it.
He's probably dead. Nope, he shows up later. He's with us forever now.
Yeah, because how could we ever lose Cookie Bobby, a
Cookie Bobby.
horrifying monstrosity that comes out of nowhere and goes to nowhere? Truly, an incisive statement on the absurdity and meaninglessness of existence.
So similar
Aren't
to
we all Cookie Bobby at some level?
well,
Isn't that the
everyone needs to
horror
be
we
taught
live
the
with
legend
daily?
of Cookie Bobby.
So similar to the Dark Tower series, our heroes are traveling across a nightmarish
They're a
landscape.
quartet.
Yep, they're exactly, and they're chasing a bitter, twisted figure, always feeling like they're one step behind him. And in this case, Chumsley, this evil man or cat doll, he collapses a bridge to try and prevent them from catching him. And then, but the thing is that their presence here, or maybe it's just his negative vibes, are causing the magic of the dollhouse to collapse, which makes the world they're in start to collapse. And there's a moment where Vera and Chumsley kind of save each other, right?
Yeah, very sweet.
And yeah, it's very sweet.
Like
And
the frosting.
And they realize that that's, like Vera realizes the error of her ways. Chumsley realizes the error of his ways. And then we all get sucked back into the dollhouse. Hooray! Power of friendship and love. At this point, Gabby and the team, everybody's safe and alive, including Keiki. Don't worry. Cookie Bobby shows back
Keiki
up.
got bakey.
He did, but that's still fine. That's ideal, actually.
I mean, you have to bake a cake, so it's not that bad for a Keiki to get bakey.
Yeah, that's peak performance for a Keiki. And they, out from the top of the dollhouse, erupts a cat-shaped balloon, like a dirigible. And they fly all the way back to Gigi's home, leaving Vera return
Gigi
to
Allen.
human size, and Chumsley and the rest of her collectibles there. But you know what? Vera doesn't treat them as collectibles anymore. No, she plays with her stuff, including the 3 kitty rangers who are still in her home.
They do a little dance.
Meanwhile, our heroes go back to Gigi's house, and Gabby completes work on her greatest creation, a gift for her little sister. That's right, a dog-themed dollhouse.
A doghouse, if you will.
I won't. So that's the end.
Tale of Gabby's
dollhouse. Anything bad happened to anybody? No, everybody came out okay, right?
No,
Everybody's
I mean,
better,
and that's to be
off.
honest, one of the things that I thought that I liked about this movie, it was not for me, was also it's like, they didn't feel the need to like make people in real danger, or to be like the world's gonna end if we like, and even or they didn't have to punish Chumsley or anything like that. I like any kids
they don't
movie,
have to like slice off a paw.
exactly, or like hurl him into a like trap him somewhere. So
Into a
I like
different
any kids
vortex.
movie that is about that. As much as I don't like the message of never grow up and always play with your toys, I do like the message of let's give love to this person and rather than punishment.
Yeah.
It's the whole Spirited Away thing, man. More movies should be like Spirited Away.
We're already sliding into it like we're going down a hill of frosting. So let's get into final judgments. Is this a good bad movie, a bad movie, or a movie you kind of like? As frequently happens, this is not easy to put into our categories.
Doesn't fit our very not good categories that
Yeah.
often don't work. Yeah.
But the thing is, we can't fucking change them.
I know.
No, we
They
can't.
were handed down on stone tablets.
Yeah.
And if
well,
we
it's
don't
part of the
play with
curse.
those categories, the categories will go insane and take over the dollhouse. Yeah.
Well, what I want to say is like clearly not made for me, not intended for me, should not have been watched by me.
In fact, the fact that you did watch it means you're now on a watch list. So.
Did you guys watch it with the interactive sing along
No.
mode enabled?
No, I didn't even know that was an option. I would have.
Yeah.
I would have done it. No, I was just like for me, it's a bad movie. I think actually, for a kid, I kind of like it. Like honestly, for what it is, it has a lot of imagination. There's a lot of strange stuff going on. There's funny stuff around the edges where I'm like, that was a little weirder and funnier than it needed to be. It's not to the level that any adult is going to enjoy it, but bad for an adult. I'd say actually, I wouldn't mind it for a kid.
There's
That's
not
what I
too
think.
many dirty jokes, right?
No, other than like Kitty Wagon as the license plate, I wouldn't say there really are any.
Yeah. And cakey got bakey. I think that's fine.
It doesn't
right?
really
Yeah.
mean anything.
Yeah.
I don't even think it's not like a getting baked joke.
No,
or anything
I mean,
like that.
it's just
literally
like-
just that two words rhyme.
And it does just show like a cupcake cat's weirdly human-shaped butt cheeks, which
But
I
that's
think
the
is
thing.
fine. Like kids
It's fine.
have butt cheeks.
Exactly. If there's anything kids know about already, it is what butts look like. They have them.
Yeah.
They're very interested in
And
them.
they think it's very funny.
and they think
Yeah.
it's funny. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Dan and say, like, again, for me, I did not enjoy watching it, but as a kids movie, I do kind of like it because the message is mostly positive. It's really energetic and upbeat. It is not. It felt to me like I was being drowned in candy, but kids like that, so I just don't. It's just not for me.
Yeah, I mean, I think it helps that our antagonist character is at least somewhat fun, and I do like that all the cat designs are all totally different and kind of insane. So
Yeah.
I was, yeah.
yeah,
It was-
I'll agree with you guys. We're all in agreement. It's what kind of liked or not for us.
I
Yeah.
think it's a movie we kind of liked for other people, for younger people. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like my mom said when she saw Hedwig and the Angry Inch years ago. This is for younger people, is what she told me. I think it was a real refreshing thing to me when I saw the trailer for this before some other movie. It was probably Bad Guys 2 or something like that. And and I immediately was like, oh, so Kristen Wiig's playing the villain who's going to try to like make money off the cats or something like that, or but it was a really refreshing thing to be like, oh no, she just likes cats, and she needs to reconnect with her childhood self, I guess. But like, it's not her trying to misuse. She's not really a villain at all. She's she's
She
coded
sees
as a villain as soon as
that
she shows
wants.
up, and then
She
she's not a
buys
villain.
it.
Yeah.
And that's, like the meanest thing she does is like buying the dollhouse out from under a child who should, who would more enjoy the dollhouse in its intended form.
She just needs to like recalibrate her concept of toys, right, guys?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the movie, Toys.
Toys, the movie. She's got to understand that it's meant to be not enjoyable.
It's supposed to be unpleasant. Yeah.
Yes.
Mission accomplished.
Was that why George W. Bush was on that aircraft carrier with the mission accomplished banner? We have managed to make toys. It is a big movie with good people in it that is not enjoyable. We did it.
It looks really fun, but it ain't.
It
But
looks
it's not fun.
cool. You'll think it's going to be fun. I don't know what voice I'm doing now. But
We have managed to take grimness and bleakness and put a thin layer of whimsy on the top to convince you that it will be fun, but it is not.
it's going to pretend to have an anti-war message, but at the end, the good toys go to war. So who knows?
But thematically, it still works because those action scenes are terrible.
And you
Does
will
not
be
make you want to be involved in them.
You will be disappointed at the end that you don't get a really good view, a good visual of the kind of octopus underwater toy that is dangerous at the end. You guys remember that? There's some kind of killer toy or something that you barely get to see. Yeah.
Killer toys.
If ever a movie was misbegotten, it is Toys.
Max Fun Meetup Day is on Thursday, April 23rd. Max Funsters from all over are getting together to hang out and celebrate their favorite podcasts. Want to go and meet some friends who like similar stuff and care about the same things as you? Head to MaximumFun.org/meetup to see where and when your local meetup is. Don't see one nearby? Host your own and make some new pals. All you need to do is pick a place that can hold a small group. A bar, cafe, park, library, wherever. Then fill out the form at MaximumFun.org/meetup. We'll add you to the page and help get the word out. So go to MaximumFun.org/meetup and maybe we'll see you on April 23rd.
Hello, this is Alden Ford.
And Mujan Zulfagari.
Two of the creators of Mission to Zix, your favorite improvised, obsessively sound-designed sci-fi sitcom here on the Max Fun Network. And the news is...
We're back! With an all-new miniseries set in the Zix universe, The Young Old Durf Chronicles.
Yeah.
Will Durf find his own killer before it's too late?
Ooh.
To find out how that question could possibly make sense, well, you just have to tune in.
Yeah, and as always, it's ambitious and labor-intensive to, frankly, absurd degree.
Indeed.
So, if you are looking for a little break from your own galaxy, we would love for you to check it out.
That's The Young Old Durf Chronicles. Search Mission to Zix, ZYXX, in your podcast app.
Or on MaximumFun.org.
Keep it fresh.
This podcast, The Flophouse, is brought to you in part by Squarespace.
Oh.
If you're online, if you're offering services, you probably need a website, and Squarespace helps you with that. It gives you everything you need to offer services and get paid all in one pace. All in one pace? All in one pace.
All in one Lee Pace, yeah.
All in one
He's
place.
pretty big.
Yeah. He contains multitudes. There's enough
I mean, the
room in
fact
there.
is, if you watch Foundation, there's more than one Lee Pace on there. So the fact that Squarespace is just all in one pace is very helpful.
Even someone with a tripping tongue like me can get paid on time.
Oh, your
with
tongue is high.
professional
That's the problem.
on-brand invoices and online payments. Plus, you can streamline your workflow with their tools like built-in appointment scheduling and email marketing. And for designing that site, Squarespace offers a complete library of award-winning website templates with options for every category, every use. You got drag and drop editing, beautiful styling options, unrivaled visual design effects. You don't need to know how to code. You can just use the website builder, no experience required. So head to squarespace.com/flop for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, use offer code FLOP to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain.
We've also got some Jumbotrons. The first one is Jared K. Anderson's creepy, cozy cryptid novel, Strange Animals, was called A Wholly Captivating Tale of Magic and Nature by Publishers Weekly. In her 5-star Goodreads review, fantasy legend Robin Hobb wrote, "It's a story that stops to think." And Max Fun's own Justin McElroy wrote, "Anderson has conceived of such a rich world and such a textured mythology. In it, a crow undoes a man's death on a city street and gives him an acorn. After that, things get weird." That's Strange Animals by Jared K. Anderson. Find it from Ballantine Books at your favorite bookstore.
And we have a Jumbotron. This is a message for future Dr. Matthew Coleman Stout, and it comes from Eric Stout. And Eric writes, "Words cannot express how immensely proud I am of all your accomplishments. Hopefully hearing them from the Peaches can convey it better. Throughout our childhood and even now, you have done everything at 110% and nothing less, be it guitar, baking, Lego, gunpla, or school. I'm proud to call you my brother and wish you the best of luck, Doctor." Very nice. We got a new doctor, everybody.
Ooh, a doctor.
A doctor, and not one of those wasteful doctors that just bounce around in their TARDIS. Not helping anybody.
Wasteful.
Well,
Congratulations, Doctor.
Doctor.
Hey, Dan, before we move on, can I plug
What?
a couple of my things?
Yeah, please do.
I just got 3 things to plug. I've got my new comic book, Barbarian Behind Bars. It's on store shelves now, unless it's sold out. I got Harley Quinn from DC Comics. I'm still writing every month on comic book store shelves now. And if you want to know about how to write jokes, why not check out my book, Joke Farming, How to Write Comedy and Other Nonsense, at the University of Chicago Press. While we record this, it is only $3.99 for the ebook version. I don't know if that will still be going on when this episode comes out, but try it. Those are my plugs.
And I would also like to do a brief plug. My wife has opened up a fitness studio in Sunset Park, Brooklyn. It's next to our bar minis. This fitness studio is called Jiggle Studio. It is a movement-focused, size-inclusive, everybody-inclusive fitness studio. If you are not in Brooklyn, first off, if you're in Brooklyn, hey, you should come by and take a class. It's really fun. We now offer memberships and all kinds of cool things. But if you're not in Brooklyn and you would like to support or at least show some support to Jiggle and its message, we do now have an online merch store. Just go to jigglestudio.printful. That's printful.me. And we have some tank tops, shirts, sweatshirts, all kinds of cool stuff. So you can show off, what a cool person you are by picking up some Jiggle merch.
I forgot to ask Stuart.
Yeah.
The extra cards. The extra cards that you have over there. Is that just to keep us guessing?
No, I just printed off a lot, and I was scrambling to get my notes down on the card, so I didn't edit. I didn't take out the ones I didn't.
Yeah. I was like, I wonder if he's just doing it like so we don't know. We don't know how close we are to the end.
Yeah, maybe.
Like, it's like how, speaking of fitness, it's like how if I'm at yoga and I can't see the tiny clock up front, it's kind of better because I don't know like where we are in the class.
Sure. You can just lose yourself in the moment. You own it.
Mm-hmm.
This opportunity is your one shot at yoga, mom's spaghetti.
I started taking hot yoga again, and it's been really great. It's been totally annihilating me. And there's been times where this last time, there was a guy working out next to me, and while I was like during one of the rest periods, I'm like, in child's pose, just kind of like fighting for my life, trying to survive. And I look over, and this dude is next to me doing fucking handstands and shit. I'm like, what?
Yeah, people can get real strong doing it. Anyway, let's move on. We've gone down a cul-de-sac. Let's reverse the car. Let's move on to letters.
K-turn. Let's get out of there.
Yeah, 3-point turnabout.
This letter's from Spencer, last name withheld.
For hire?
Gifts.
Yeah. It's Robert Urich. The late Robert Urich.
Uric acid.
Time travel shows up. We just say things, Doesn't matter.
Hey, man.
Doesn't
Words sound
really
like
matter.
other words. How many times do I have to say it,
Time travel shows up everywhere in film. Everywhere.
Sure does. Everywhere. Every
Constant.
movie. Well, all movies are traveling forward through time at the rate of 1 second per
Guys,
second.
that was
so
the
it's true.
joke I was going to make.
well, you should have been faster.
Elliot,
Because I time traveled ahead and got to it.
Shows up everywhere in film. Sometimes brilliantly, oftentimes not. What are the best / most clever uses of time travel in movies you kind of like? What are some bad examples? What method of time travel do you find the most plausible? Keep on flopping, Spencer. Last name withheld.
I think I'm going to say one of the ones that I like the most. I really like the Christopher Nolan's movie Tenet because the time travel in it is so
God.
like you visit, like you're just like, yeah, you're going backwards now. Like you're not like jumping around. You're like, nope, it feels the same to you. It's just time is going backwards.
Yeah,
baby.
so when a car chases you, it chases you in reverse.
Yes,
I
kind of love this stupid movie.
It
feels
is
like
so-
Christopher Nolan's like,
It grew on me.
Yeah.
I got to say that. Like, it might still be my least favorite of his. I tend to like his movies, but seeing it when it was it had briefly re-released because it was like, let's take another shot at this since COVID happened the first time. Seeing it in the theater where I was like forced to pay attention, it was like big and loud. I'm like, okay, I know I'm not going to follow this. Like on that level, I'm enjoying what's going on.
Well, but even like not going to follow it. There's not that much to follow. I feel like Christopher Nolan has really, at times, he makes movies that seem more complicated than they are. Like Interstellar is like that, where it's like it's not really that complicated, but it makes you think it's more complicated than it is.
it's basically a James Bond movie with some extra stuff in it.
Yes, exactly. I think
Which I don't hate.
No,
I like it.
If I went into it with that mindset, I think I probably would have enjoyed it more. But I was expecting something more than I got. So maybe I'll see Tenet again someday. But I want to two time travel movies that I think do it really well, and partly because they are low budget enough that they're not special effectsy movies. Are of course Primer and Time Crimes, which are both great time travel movies.
Hell
Yeah, where it's less about the act of traveling through time and more about kind of like the effect of traveling through time, or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to mention probably the first movie that everyone thinks about with time travel these days.
Time After Time.
Yeah, I said these days because I'm not like, I don't want Elliot to be like the time machine, and then you said Time After Time. So,
but I said it as a joke because I'm like, nobody thinks about that movie anymore.
No, still Back to the Future. Like, it's just
Sure, yeah.
As like pure entertainment is so much fun. It just like everything works in that movie works so well that you don't really think about how much of it is about not sleeping with your mom.
Well, that's my favorite joke in the TV show Glow is still Mark Maron's character being like, I wrote this script, but Hollywood would never make it because it's so fucked up. It's about this guy who goes back in time and his mom wants to fuck him. And they're like, that was the #1 movie in the country.
But just as pure like time travel entertainment, I love that. As like very silly time travel, I love at the end of the Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure when they're like, we'll just remember to come back and put the key here.
I love that. I feel like Bill and Ted does a better job of doing a real time travel movie than most other movies, even though it's a comedy. We're like, so we'll just leave it here. How we know? We'll just know to go back and have done it. Like, it's such a great way to handle that situation.
But in terms of like plausibility, like I like the 12 Monkeys view of it where it's like, okay, well, you can't really change anything because it's already happened. I like the
view of it.
Yes. Mm-hmm. I like the Avengers Endgame view of it where it's like, well, we're not going to change the future. We're going to like split timelines because, like that makes more sense to me, both of those things, because like if there's real time travel, there'd be so many holes in baby Hitler's cradle right now. Like,
you'd like to think so.
Yeah. Who knows? But
you're not going to shoot a baby, Dan. You smother a baby.
Okay. But yeah, I mean, I don't really have like examples of like bad time travel like spring to mind.
Do.
Okay.
I think the thing that gets to me is when you see a movie where. So I like the movie Frequency. Like, that's a good movie. But that movie does bad time travel stuff where it's like something will happen in the past and the future or the present will change instantly in real time, when in reality it would have always been that way. So something where like, I think it's in that movie where a character like loses a finger or something in the past and then suddenly their finger like disappears in the present and they're like, huh? And like, that's not, that person would have always lost that
There's
finger.
a part where they like carve into a desk and they see it appearing. I remember.
Exactly. Like that, it's a fun movie, but that time travel would not work that way. Like, it just doesn't make any sense.
It's
because
like
it still
waves,
implies,
man.
Well, it implies
like
that there's this eternal present that the characters are always in,
Yeah.
But that movie's really more about dads and sons. So I'll buy it. It's not about science.
Yeah. Any more thoughts before we move on?
I would say also, in terms of time travel is most likely impossible. So there's part of me that kind of believes more.
Except for the way we currently travel through time.
Exactly. Forward through time at the rate of 1 second per second.
I guess time is an illusion, they tell us. And it's
in
all
a way
happening
we travel backwards in time using our memories and through the art of storytelling.
Well, that's the thing is when I see a time travel movie that uses kind of a more mystical form of time travel, I'm like, okay, maybe you could do it that way because it's not really scientifically possible to physically go back to the past or physically to go into a future which does not exist yet, And even if those things do exist because time is a continuum and we're just traveling along it, our perception of reality does not allow us to do those things. So, sorry, time travel, you burned.
What about Time Cop? Time Cop has that really great part where he does those splits.
Uh-huh. And
but
that's real defined.
That's true. But that's because he put the time into his workout.
Yeah. Nate, last name withheld. Bleh. Right. That was not a bleh to you, Nate. It was just about my...
It wasn't that his last name was Bleh.
Yeah.
Named by a vampire.
Bragazzi, by the way.
Okay. Blagazzi. Nate writes, I realized in the past few years that I'm a big fan of what I think of as damp stories. I struggle to define... I struggle to define damp, but I know it when I see it. It's a vibe. Certainly the world should be physically damp. Things should be mildewy, paint should be peeling, but also the story should be about folks with waterlogged souls and societies that are falling apart like wet bread. Some of my favorite damp fiction books are The Sunken Land Begins to Rise Again by M. John Harrison, Jeff Vandermeer's Southern Reach books, and recently Julia Armfield's books Our Wives Under the Sea and Private's Rights. Film-wise, though, I need some recommendations. Tarkovsky's Stalker is probably the ultimate damp film. Annihilation is pretty damn damp. Blade Runner is quite damp.
Moist,
Yes.
yeah.
I'm currently designing a damp video game, so if the Peaches have any damp films to recommend, I'd be grateful for the inspiration. Damp
Yeah.
grateful. One
Yeah, I
assumes.
mean, obviously, the wettest horror movies of all time. You're going to say Jaws. I'm going to say no. Hellraiser 1 and 2. Those are the wettest horror movies. Everything's damp because it's
Pretty
covered in
damp.
blood and sweat. Yeah, those are great.
Dagon's pretty damp.
Dagon is super damp. That's perfect for
I
that
mean, it's a
shit.
creature from the sea. It makes sense.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I mean, you mentioned Blade Runner. Alien is a movie that I like for the dampness that shouldn't exist. The fact that they have that room where there's just chains and dripping water on a spaceship, that
Yeah.
shouldn't be there. But there is something very damp and gooey about that movie. If you've never seen The Element of Crime, Lars von Trier's early movie, it's incredibly damp and kind of rotting away. And we mentioned, Dan, you mentioned 12 Monkeys. Like 12 Monkeys is not a wet movie, but I remember seeing that in theaters and being like, this is a really grimy, rotting world.
Yeah,
like
it's
it's an
a-
unpleasant world to be in. You know?
No, that's true. I think that qualifies.
If you're looking for like a goofy B movie, the Rucker Hauer action movie Split Second takes place in a world that's basically like partially flooded.
Maybe I'm taking it too literally, but because it has so much to do with water and eels. But I just watched A Cure for Wellness recently. It's got the literal dampness, but also kind of the I don't know, vaguely Lovecraftian dampness you're looking for, I think.
You know what? I wonder if dampness is different than it's different than like stickiness or gooiness or like, you know, that kind of wetness. Well, we don't need to worry about it.
We don't. We can just move on.
Because there's a difference between wetness, dampness and like when there's like a monster in a movie and it's just slathered in kind of like goo, like wet that way, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's move on to recommendations.
Oh, Damp Yankees.
What?
Also,
Oh,
Damp Yankees, the
Yankees.
musical. That's about the
okay.
game. The game should have been rained out, but they play it
Yeah.
anyway. Yeah.
I was
Weird.
worried you were talking about the supergroup, and I'm like, I don't like Ted Nugent though.
Nobody does.
Um,
Actually, not sure. A lot of people do, but I don't.
pardon me while I burp. And now,
Ted
moving
Nugent,
on.
though, is a great candy bar.
Let's do recommendations. Movies that for adults might be a better use of one's time.
For adults,
I
you say.
recently, speaking of adults and kids, I recently rewatched Time Bandits, and I was sort of amazed looking back at how much I loved that as a kid, because I'm like watching it as an adult. I'm like, God damn, this movie's weird. I mean, not just in like a bunch of weird stuff happens in it, but the fact like Audrey was in the room for the ending, and I explained to her what happened at the end of that film, and she's like, "What?" Like, spoiler for a movie from 1981, but the film, you know, a movie that's at least sort of pitched for children. I think it was not necessarily intended as that at the time, but it's certainly like meant to be a movie for everyone to some degree.
People who are young at heart.
Yeah,
I
ends
watched that
with
movie. I watched that movie recently.
Wait,
with
hold
my-
on. Let me finish
okay,
my
yeah.
idea.
Okay.
It ends with the parents of the main character touching a piece of ultimate evil, exploding. The father figure from another time driving off and leaving the child alone. At which point, a map of the universe gets folded up, and George Harrison plays, and that's the end.
Yeah, I was
He's
going to
alone
say,
in
I
the world.
recently watched that with my younger son for the first time, and he liked it, but I think was weirded out by it. And the ending, certainly, he was like, I didn't like the ending. He was like, I didn't think the parents weren't that bad, that they had to
No.
be destroyed at the end, you know?
No,
Oh,
it's
man,
wild.
I was all about it as a kid.
But yeah, watching it again, like there's just like jokes in there that I really loved, and this time around watching Ian Holm as Napoleon, like he's watching Punch and Judy, and he's angry at anything that's not Punch and Judy. He's just like, I just want to watch little things hitting each other. Because they make a whole, like it's all these Napoleon short jokes, of course. But he's like, I want to watch little things doing violence, and backstage the stage manager is about to shoot himself because he has nothing else. And then all of the little people, like God's helpers, bandits, run up, and he's like, "Oh, delivered from my." It's just such a weird joke, but I thought it was so funny. Anyway.
Also, I just love the idea of a time travel story where they just have a giant map of the universe that somehow they can figure out and find how to travel around through time. I think
Holes
that's
in
great.
time.
I'm going to recommend a movie that is, this one's a tough one. This is a tough one for you to watch, but this is tough as in it's hard to find. I recently went to a screening of the Hank's Saloon documentary. This was directed by friend of the podcast, Ashley Atkinson's husband, Leon Chase. And this is him filming the last few months of a somewhat legendary Brooklyn dive bar, Hank's Saloon. And he captures kind of the history of Brooklyn as a borough and the history of that property and the various bars that inhabited that property, and then takes a look at kind of the lifespan of this neighborhood bar. And there's a lot of interviews with, former bartenders, with some of the barflies, and I think it does a very good job of capturing kind of what makes a neighborhood bar special and the way that a group of local weirdos can create this kind of interesting little community despite being surrounded by a neighborhood that is rapidly gentrifying and all the characters being kind of ironed out of the neighborhood. And the way that Incessant Progress kind of does that. And I think that there's a lot of neighborhood bars that kind of feel like Hank's, but Hank's also felt a little bit extra special. And so I think it's a really fun documentary. It was also, I'm kind of a little too close to the material. A lot of those barflies, I'm like, oh man, I definitely got trapped talking to that guy before. But this is a movie that is currently, they did a couple screenings at the Nighthawk, and now I think they're doing a little bit of a road show around some bars in Brooklyn, and hopefully it will make some festival appearances. But that's the Hank's Saloon documentary.
And I was reminded on your one of your model painting streams that our producer, Alex Smith, played Hank's Saloon at one point.
Yeah.
I saw a show there.
I remember seeing friends play there. Yeah.
Yeah.
My recommendation is a movie from my second favorite filmmaking duo. You guys know that if there's a filmmaking duo I love above all others, it's the Coen brothers. But if there's a second favorite that I love above most others, except the Coen brothers, it is Powell and Pressburger, The Archers. And this is a movie I had not seen until recently, which is called The Small Back Room. And it's a black and white movie. It's not their beautiful color that they're often known for, but it does star David Farrar and Kathleen Byron, who are favorites of theirs. They're also both in Black Narcissus, which is a movie I love. And it's a movie from 1949 that's set during World War II. And David Farrar he is a scientist who has only one foot and the other foot is a tin prosthetic, and as a result of that, he is struggling with feelings of inadequacy, with alcoholism, and he is being self-destructive and also destructive towards his love interest, Kathleen Byron, who's trying to stand by him. And at the same time, he's also trying to solve the problem of these kind of devices that are being dropped on England by the Nazis that when you touch them, they explode, or you pick them up, they explode. How do you find a way to defuse these so they're no longer a danger? And it's super tense. The personal stuff is really good in it. The military stuff is really tense and really good in it. It's a small-scale movie, but it just feels very suspenseful and very kind of meaningful. But there's also funny parts. And I will say there's one part where it gets a little too, he has desperately wants a drink type sequence that gets a little too literal in that he's literally being squeezed out of a room by a giant bottle of whiskey, and it's like, all right, well, this is getting a little silly, but
sounds pretty cool though.
It does sound cool, but it's cool to watch, and it's a Powell Pressburger movie, so it looks great. It looks beautiful, and so that's The Small Back Room. I highly recommend it.
Great. Well, let's take pity on Elliot's wife and wrap this up as quickly as possible now.
She thanks you, and I thank you for her thanking you. Yeah.
And I thank Maximum Fun. Go to MaximumFun.org. Check out all the other great shows on the network. Hey, Max Fun Drive's coming up soon. We're going to do 3 full episodes in a row for the drive. We're doing a thing.
No minis during drive, all fulls. Yeah.
And we're doing a thing where we torture one another with movie picks for the group. So Stuart picked Exit to Eden, I believe.
Enjoy it, suckers.
I picked Fear.com.
Oh, no.
And Elliot got real mean and picked 40 Days and 40 Nights.
I feel like that's a crime.
I know. I was like, what's the movie that'll hurt Stuart the most? But I know he hates the most.
Well, there could be that home movie of Stuart's parents not giving him a birthday gift.
Oh,
Oh, no.
why'd they keep that?
No. Yeah, no, it's crazy.
Birthdays truly were the worst days, yeah.
So that'll be coming up soon in late April. But thank you to the network. Thank you to Alex Smith, our producer, Hank's Saloon performer. You can find him online as Howell Doughty, doing streams and music and his own podcast. But for our podcast, The Flophouse, I've been Dan McCoy.
I'm Stuart Wellington.
I'm Elliot Kalin.
Okay, let's get out of here so Ellie can go have fun with his family. What's your favorite big cat? Is it the tiger, the puma?
I mean, Tony the Tiger, probably, right? Because he's a friendly gay icon.
That's true.
Hey,
I think he could pull off a neckerchief, Dan.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, the thing about Tony the Tiger is he was out at a time when it was not easy for a cartoon tiger who was the pitch man for cereal to be out.
I mean, Snagglepuss.
Snagglepuss, it was like Liberace. He was like, I can never come out publicly because of my female fans. They need to know they have a chance with me, you know?
Maximum Fun.
A worker-owned network
Of artist-owned shows.
supported
Directly
by you.